Today's tips are in relation to cold calling. We know cold calling is important because that's a non-organic way for us to grow business. We all went through the building your own brand and letting people know what we do and why we do it. We should be getting leads from people by asking, who else do you know that may be looking to better their insurance options or needs insurance? Once you do get a contact, have those people let the other people know that you'll be calling. In relation to your purchasing leads, you'll want to call them. You've got a pool of people you've never talked to. How do you make these leads work for you? You could try to convince yourself that cold calling really isn't necessary. The truth, however, is that the most successful salespeople consistently develop new leads using a variety of methods, including cold calling. By practicing and persevering, both your skills and confidence will improve. While cold calling success is really divided into two categories, planning and discipline. Planning as in having a script and being ready for anything. Also, discipline as in organization and will. I'll briefly hit on those and give you some ideas. The following may be beneficial as you begin to practice the critical discipline of cold calling. Have a time each day to prospect. Know the reason for calling before you call. Customer benefits, not product features. Assume your voicemail message may never be returned. Blocking out time. Time management is very important. You need to block aside special time for it and have that be the only thing you do. If you're not super organized, you can contact us about using a customer record management system. If you don't have a built-in calendar on your CRM, then using your email calendar can be a great tool. When you block out time, you need to remove distractions as well. Cold calling is one of the hardest parts of this job, and people like to set aside time but will let any distraction take them away. A good move is 25 minutes of cold calling, 10-minute break, and then 25 minutes back. Do that 2 or 3 times a day. Focus 100% of your efforts on what you're doing. Are you multitasking so much that you're not getting anything else done? If so, focus on just one key task at a time. Close off all the applications you aren't using, close off the tabs in your browser that are taking away your attention, and focus solely on what you're doing. You'll be more efficient that way. Average rule of number is 25 calls an hour, talk to about 20%, that's about 5, set half, that's about 2 to 3. Your show rate hopefully is 50% or higher. Then all depending on your closing rate. Cold calling is a numbers game, but it is an important part of our business. Set realistic goals. Be clear that you need to call X amount by 10 a.m., Y amount by 3 p.m., and Z amount by 5:30 p.m. This prevents your work from dragging on and eating into time reserved for other activities and adding additional stress. Don't count the time till it's done. Achieving your goal deserves recognition from yourself, a nice lunch out or a game of golf if you prefer. Determine your activities for the day. Specific activities can be delegated to blocks of time. You need to block aside special time for it and have that be the only thing you do. A simple online countdown timer can also help. You key in the amount of time you want to track. Example, 15 minutes or 30 minutes. It'll count down in the background. When the time is up, the timer will beep. It's a great way to be aware of your time spent on the call out. Phone call times. Earmark specific time blocks during the day and the evening to call appointments. Don't get in the trap of only calling during the evenings. Ever walk around the mall during the day and see all the people? My point here is that there's a lot of people to call during the day. If you only have meetings from other people on your calendar, you will be working on their priorities all day. Make sure you block out time for your work. Most calendars will give you the option to use colors for different tasks and priority statuses. Set up a color scheme that would work best for you. If you know that red means hot, it could mean that something that is highly important. Maintain accurate notes, set callback alarms, and follow up on the days you say you will. Streamlining is great. Don't reinvent the wheel for the same task you will do multiple times. Have a cold call script, keeping it short and sweet, and it will keep you from fumbling and stammering on your words. Once you get the comfort level down of what you plan to say, it flows smoother. First thing is really be genuine. What is your goal behind cold calling? To help these people save money and to get the right insurance, right? That's why we do what we do. If you walk into cold calling with a cheesy attitude and an over-scripted response, you will get people to not listen. Customers who feel like the salesperson is genuinely interested in learning more about their needs and more likely to purchase something from them. The more you know about the prospect and their current situation, especially when you know very little going into the call, the better you can customize product recommendations. The crucial element of cold calling, where 95% of the wannabes get it wrong, is the first 3 seconds after saying hello. 3 seconds is the size of the window of opportunity you have to get your prospect interested. They're not curious after 3 seconds. That means they'll dismiss you and your offer. Instead of listening, they'll quickly start thinking of objections and excuses to hang up the call. So how do you do that? Use a quick, and I mean quick, script. So first, the greeting. The thing is never to ask how the prospect is doing. I hear this all the time from new agents, and why start with something that could be negative? Get right to the point with an introduction such as, "Hi, this is Tammy from ABC Insurance Agency. I specialize in assisting individuals with customized health plans that save on an average of 15% off the current premium cost." Next is the engaging question. You need to make the client participate in the conversation. Create a dialogue instead of just a run-on sentence where they shut you down mentally and just want to get you off the phone. Keep in mind, this is all the first impression during those 3 seconds. So something along the lines of, "How often do you hear from your current agent? Tell me about your satisfaction with your current health insurance." You want an engaging question so the client cares. This is why branding yourself is so important. What can you do for them? What makes you different? Do you provide exceptional customer service? Specialize in working with small business owners? You need to stress you or your agency's unique edge. How will you save them 15%? Keep in mind there's no fee for working with you. Think of how many carriers you work with. So something like, "So what I do here is provide a free service as a health insurance broker to look into about 20 companies that I work with to make sure you have the best and most cost-effective health insurance plan out there. This takes about 10 minutes where I ask you some questions about your current situation and I look into those companies for you, again for free, to ensure that you're going to get the best benefits and most benefits for your dollar." Keep it short and sweet. Rather than overwhelming a stranger with information or industry-specific terminology, speak clearly and stick to a high-level explanation. The last step is asking for an appointment. The client will never ask. You need to do it. This is where you get objections, and the fun as a salesperson starts. You want to be positive and proactive. So ask, "Do you have a calendar in front of you? Take a look at what looks good for you for a 10-minute phone call this week, unless you have time now, of course." And then deal with the objections. Pen and paper. Give them homework. Find out how much your insurance is and your benefits, and we'll compare. Have them write it down and repeat. Name, phone number, time and date, homework, and reason to call. An example. "Hi, Bob. This is Tammy from ABC Insurance Agency. I'm so glad I got you on the phone. I've been assigned to be the agent for your health insurance. I specialize in assisting individuals with customized health plans that save an average of 15% off current premium costs. Are you currently interested? No? How long have you been without it? Any reason why? If their answer is yes, tell me the satisfaction that you have with your current health insurance." These are engaging questions. So what I do is provide a free service as a health insurance broker to take a look into about 20 companies to make sure you have the best and most cost-effective health insurance plan out there. This takes about 10 minutes where I'm going to ask you some questions about your current situation and look into these companies for you. Again, for free, to ensure you're getting the most benefits for your dollar. Do you have a calendar in front of you? Take a look at what looks good for you for a 10-minute phone call this week, unless you have the time now, of course. It's quick and easy. If you want more ideas, please reach out. Or there's a great book suggestion from Jerry Hocutt's Cold Calling for Cowards. Gives you a perspective into the numbers game of cold calling and some great tips.